What if being nice is the very thing holding you back? Most of us grow up being told to be nice. Don't rock the boat. Don't upset anyone. Don't speak too loud. Be agreeable. Be polite. And one day you look around and realize you're tired, overlooked, maybe even used. This section opens with a bold question. What if being nice is a trap? We talk about how niceness often isn't kindness. It's fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of being judged. We play the part people expect from us and we call it being good. But deep down you feel it, a quiet anger, a loss of self. This is the mask Carl Jung called the persona, a fake version of ourselves we wear to survive. In this part, we reveal how the world often rewards the mask, not the truth, and how, if you don't break out of it, you'll live a life that isn't yours. This is your wake-up call. You were never meant to be just nice. You were meant to be real. You were meant to be powerful. Forget what you think you know about Machiavelli. He's not the cold-hearted villain history makes him out to be. He wasn't teaching people how to be evil. He was showing people how the world really works. In this section, we go back in time to the brutal streets of Renaissance Italy, where betrayal and power games were a way of life. Machiavelli watched it all and wrote down a truth most people didn't want to hear. Those who try too hard to be loved often end up weak and ignored. We explain how his book, The Prince, isn't about being cruel. It's about being real, about seeing people clearly, not as you wish they were, but as they truly are. Machiavelli understood something few do. Power isn't good or bad, it just is. And if you don't learn how to use it, someone else will use it on you. We contrast this with how modern society tells us to always be kind, always be soft. But behind that, there's a dangerous message. Stay small, stay quiet, be easy to control. This part shakes that message to the core. Here's where the real change begins. If you're always trying to please others, you'll never be free. In this part, we explore what it actually means to step into your own power. Not by becoming someone else, but by reclaiming the parts of you that you've been told to hide. We talk about the shadow, the side of you that holds your anger, your ambition, your truth. Most nice people lock that part away. But the truth is, your shadow is your strength. The part of you that says no when something feels wrong. The part that fights for what matters. The part that doesn't care about fitting in. We dive into ancient stories, warrior cultures, and even Jung's psychology to show how every powerful person first had to face their own darkness. Not to become cruel, but to become whole. This isn't about hurting others. It's about never abandoning yourself again. This part is the turning point. When you stop being afraid of your shadow, you stop being afraid. Period. Let's go deeper. True kindness is not about being nice all the time. It's not about saying yes just to avoid conflict. That kind of kindness is empty. It's a habit, not a choice. Real kindness only happens when you have the strength to say no, the strength to walk away, the strength to stand in your truth. This is the twist Machiavelli hinted at, and many spiritual teachers understood. Think of the Stoics, the Zen masters, even Gandhi. These weren't weak people. They were powerful souls who chose peace. But make no mistake, they could have gone to war if they wanted to. Their calm wasn't weakness, it was mastery. This section shows that you don't have to become heartless to become powerful. In fact, when you stop giving away your power, your kindness becomes real. It's no longer a performance. It's something grounded, alive, and deeply respected. People can feel the difference. When your yes is honest and your no is unshakable, you become someone the world can't ignore. Why are people uncomfortable around someone who no longer tries to please because they can't control them? In this section, we uncover something few talk about. Societies, institutions, even religions have often encouraged people to be passive, obedient, and small. Not out of love, but out of fear. The more powerful you become, the less useful you are to systems that rely on your silence. We bring in powerful stories from history, rebels, mystics, and truth-tellers who were cast out for being too much. Jesus, before he was turned into a symbol, was a radical. The Sufis danced in rebellion. The ancient Gnostics said the true kingdom was within you, not in the hands of any ruler. In this part, we shine a light on the real reason niceness is praised. It keeps people predictable. But when you reclaim your fire, your voice, your clarity, your presence, you become something rare, something powerful. You become fully you. And that terrifies the system. Here's where it all comes together. Now that you've seen the mask, the trap, and the truth, there's a choice to make. Will you keep trying to be liked, keep playing small to make others comfortable, or will you step into the version of you that's been buried under years of niceness? This last section is a direct challenge. If you stopped caring about being liked, what could you build? Who could you become? What would your relationships look like if you led with truth instead of fear? We bring back the teachings of Machiavelli, the wisdom of Jung, the fire of ancient teachers, and leave the viewer with one final message. Power isn't about control, it's about clarity. It's about standing firm, speaking your truth and walking your own path. Being nice is easy. Being powerful takes everything you've got. And once you taste that power, you'll never trade it for approval again. Since we were kids, we've been told to be nice, be polite, be agreeable, don't make waves. We were taught that niceness is what makes us good people, and that if we are good, good things will happen. But here's the truth. That's not how the world works. Niceness isn't the same as kindness. It's not strength, it's not power. Most of the time, being nice just means being afraid to speak up, afraid to take control, afraid to be seen. We open with this shocking idea. What if being nice isn't a virtue, but a trap? A trick that keeps you small while others rise above you. In this section, we uncover how schools, families, and even religions teach us to obey and smile, while the world quietly rewards those who are bold, strategic, and sometimes even ruthless. You'll start to see how niceness can actually weaken you, turning you into someone who's easy to use, easy to forget, and easy to walk over. By the end, you'll be asking yourself a hard question. Have I been nice, or have I just been afraid? Most people hear the name Machiavelli and think evil, cold, or manipulative. But what if we've been lied to about him too? Niccolò Machiavelli wasn't teaching people how to be bad. He was teaching them how to survive. He wrote one of the most misunderstood books in history, The Prince. And in it, he said something nobody dared to say out loud. The world doesn't run on kindness, it runs on power. This section dives into Machiavelli's real message, one that's been twisted and hidden for centuries. He wasn't telling people to be cruel. He was telling them to stop being naive. He believed that most people wear masks, and if you don't see through them, you'll be used by them. We'll look at how his words were banned, his name turned into an insult, and why the world fears what he taught. But here's the twist. Machiavelli wasn't promoting darkness. He was showing us where the light really is, if we're brave enough to face it. There are two worlds we all live in, the world we wish existed and the world that actually does. We wish life was fair, that good people win, that truth rises to the top. But over and over we see the opposite. In this section we explore this painful gap between morality and reality. Why do liars get promoted? Why do manipulators succeed? Why do people who stay kind and honest get left behind? Machiavelli's answer is simple, but hard to hear. Goodness without strength is dangerous. We bring in insights from ancient teachings, Taoism's balance of light and dark, the Bible's warning to be wise as serpents, and Jung's idea of facing your shadow. We reveal how always trying to be good can actually make you easy to control. This is where the viewer begins to understand. If you only show the light, you'll be destroyed by the dark. You don't need to stop being good. You need to stop being naive, because the world doesn't reward purity. It rewards power. Behind every smile, there's a strategy. In this section, we pull back the curtain on how power really works. We look at history's most powerful figures, Caesar, Cleopatra, modern CEOs, and uncover the same pattern. They didn't win by being nice, they won by being smart. Smart with timing, smart with silence, smart with their image. You'll learn how people shape perception, use fear and play the long game, not because they're evil, but because that's the real game everyone's playing. We break down tactics from the 48 laws of power, why saying less makes you stronger, why unpredictability keeps people on edge, and why appearing weak is often a trap. You'll start to see how easily you've been outplayed, not by better people, but by people who understand how to move through this world with strategy. This section isn't just revealing, it's unsettling, because you'll start to see just how much you've been giving away without even knowing it.